Hey boys and girls. Today, I'm going to be lecturing you through just talking to you instead. I know the past couple days I've been giving you presentations to read, so today I just thought sit back, relax, and listen to me talk for a little bit. So, over the course of the last few days, you've been learning about different Indians. We learned about the Southwest Indians and the Northwest Coast Indians. And today we're going to focus on learning about the Plains Indians. Now, we need to remember that during this time, this area was not yet the United States, but we still talk about the different regions in conjunction to the United States because that's, hey, where they were. So, the first thing you need to know about the Plains Indians is their most important resource was the buffalo. Kind of like what you learned yesterday, the most important resource of the Makah people of the Northwest Coast was the whale. For the Plains people, it was the buffalo. And honestly, kind of for the same reasons. Because think about all the things you can get from a buffalo. You can use the fur to make clothing, you can use the meat as food, you could use their horns and their bones to make tools and different weapons. So, um, the buffalo was honestly something that was extremely important to the people of the Plains region. Now, there were two types of people, Native Americans, that lived in the Plains region. And the first type we're going to talk about are the people that decided to settle down. The tribes that were included in the settle down type of people were the Mandans, the Pawnees, and the Wichitas, and the Sioux. And these people lived in the circular house that you see pictured here, and it's called a lodge. Um, you can see it's a very intricately constructed home, and rightly so because, they settled down, they decided they were going to live in it. The second thing you need to know is that these people, because they settled down, did decide to farm on the prairies in which they lived in. They mainly grew beans and corn and squash and sunflowers as their main crops. The second kind of people, Native Americans, that we will be talking about, that lived in the plains were nomads, or people that didn't settle down or have a particular home. They kind of just liked to be wanderers. Some of these people included the Crows, the Cheyennes, the Kiowas, and the Comanches, and these people lived in, yes, teepees. And the reason why they lived in teepees is because they needed something, because they were constantly on the move, they needed something that could be easily put up and really easily torn down, too. So as you can see, they just lived in, teepees. They built them using long wooden poles and simply wrapped with some buffalo hide, and it was extremely easy to assemble and tear down. Now, the cool thing about these people, these nomadic people, was that they were super smart and they had a dual use for their teepee poles. And they used them to create something called a travois, which you can see pictured here. And what they would do is they would take the teepee poles and attach them to a horse, and then that way they could load up all the gear onto the teepee poles and the horse would pull it. So these people were super innovative and they had double use of, hey, we can make this our house, but also we can kind of use it as a wagon too. And they called them a travois. And that concludes today's lecture from me about the things that I know about the Plains Indians. So, what I want you to do right now is return back to Google Classroom and continue down just in order with the assignments I have listed for you.